I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that solo traveling is only for brave, extroverted, fearless people. But most solo travelers aren't fearless. They just got tired of waiting. Many years ago, when I was about to tick Fiji off my bucket list, I also couldn't imagine going alone for a holiday, and so I went online and I searched for a companion, and I did find one, and he convinced me that instead of taking a boat cruise I originally wanted to book, we should fly directly there instead. And then he had the audacity to cancel on me last minute. And so I went alone, and I am so glad I did, because I had so much fun. I did some island hopping and found myself on a tiny little island with a group of condescending Czech doctors who really didn't approve of what they saw on my dinner plate. And then a boat trip to Lautoka's markets was cancelled because not enough people had signed up. The Czech doctors laughed at my disappointment and said, "We can go shopping at home. We came here for the beach." But by that point, I already lived in Australia. I had beaches at home. A traditional Fijian market, on the other hand, was a completely different story. And so I hired a jet ski. I asked the guy to take me across to the main island and leave me there. And then I called a bus to Lautoka with absolutely no idea how and when I was going to make it back to Nadi for my flight home. And it's that freedom to change plans on a whim, to follow curiosity wherever it leads, that I love most about traveling solo. Can you imagine how perfectly aligned I would have to be with another person to do things like that? What if they wanted to stay on the island? Suddenly my holiday could turn into a negotiation, maybe even an argument. A travel companion can be wonderful, but they can also have different budgets, schedules, interests, fitness levels, comfort zones, and priorities. I would rather collect memories on my own than collect regrets with company. And do you know how many friendships end after the people go for a holiday together? When my mother took me to our one and only holiday by the ocean, I saw ocean for the first time in my life when I was 14 years old, and it was in Norway. Well, we went by bus, so technically I saw the ocean in Germany already, but that doesn't really count. Anyway, thank you, Mama, for taking me to an ocean I couldn't swim in. I don't know what happened. Was Croatia booked out or something? Of course, Norway is beautiful, but it was a very miserable holiday because we went very low budget. So we slept in tents and it rained 9 days out of 10. So we were building wet tents, packing wet tents, sleeping in wet tents, and we were only eating dehydrated food that we brought with ourselves from the Czech Republic because nobody could afford the prices of food in Norway. And we went with my mother's best friend and her daughter. And needless to say, the two of them haven't spoken for many years after that holiday. Some time ago I found a Facebook group called Women Traveling Solo Around the World, something like that. It's a Czech group. And of course I joined because I was expecting all these brave women who walk across a continent, sail across oceans, work with sled dogs in Antarctic or climb mountains. But instead I found a group of women whose children just left home. They have never been anywhere and they were scared to go by themselves. A lot of them were never on a plane before and they were looking for travel buddies in that group. And there is nothing wrong with that. I just felt a bit misled by the title, and also I felt a bit sorry that people were scared to go alone. Of course, sometimes I would also love to have a travel buddy. If I'm honest, I thought by now I would have met someone either on the road or through this channel and we could travel together for a bit and maybe share a campsite here or there. But that never happened, and so I keep going solo because sometimes or oftentimes waiting for the perfect companion means not going at all. Also, when you travel solo, you are completely free. I would hate having to worry that I'm inconveniencing someone because I found a dragonfly in a gorge and I want to spend 1 hour taking photos of it. Or because I suddenly decide I don't feel like visiting a famous attraction at all because I'm too tired. Nobody can stop you. No compromises, no negotiations, no guilt. At the same time, having a travel companion who would sometimes drag me out of the bed to go see things would be handy. But this is actually something YouTube helps me with. I don't have anyone physically getting me out of the bed, but I go anyway because I want to share this adventure with you. But you don't have to have a YouTube channel to share. That's what Instagram is for. I think most people worry that they wouldn't enjoy things as much if there wasn't someone next to them seeing the same thing at the same time. But being alone doesn't mean being lonely. That's something many people only discover after they start traveling solo. You might spend the day alone, but still chat with campers, hikers, shop owners, park rangers, or people online. In fact, solo travelers are often more approachable because they are not hidden inside a group or a couple. And then there is confidence. The first solo trip can feel terrifying. Then you navigate somewhere unfamiliar. You solve a problem, you fix something that breaks, you find a campsite, you hike a trail, and suddenly your brain starts collecting evidence. Oh, I can actually do this. Confidence isn't usually what comes before solo travel. It's what comes after. Another thing I love about solo travel is that it lets you experience places differently. When you are constantly talking, you sometimes miss what's around you. Alone, you notice things. Bird calls, wind, colors, smells, little details. Places can feel more immersive because your attention isn't split between the experience and the conversation. And perhaps the most valuable lesson of them all is to learn how to enjoy your own company. Lots of people are uncomfortable by themselves because they never practiced it. But solo travel teaches you that your own company can actually be fun. You can be curious, silly, spontaneous, and adventurous without needing an audience. People often ask me if I'm scared traveling alone. And sometimes I am. I still get anxious when I go somewhere new and I'm not sure where I'm going to sleep. But that's not stopping me from going anyway. I would rather occasionally feel nervous exploring somewhere amazing than sit at home for years wondering what I am missing. If you are waiting for somebody to go traveling with, I genuinely hope you find them. But if they never come along, I hope you will go alone. Because the life you want should not be held hostage by whether somebody else wants to come. Wow, this was fun. I will do it tomorrow all over again. And while the fan pool was quite nice, I think the Hamersley Gorge might be even better because it's not as crowded. Granted, the way the road here is not that nice. It's mostly gravel for like, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 kilometers. I don't remember. But it's definitely worth it because it's not that crowded. You can get the pool just to yourself for a bit. It's warm. I don't know why everybody was like, oh, Karijini, it's gonna be freezing. Lian even refused to join me because she said it's gonna be too cold. And you know how I am. I was wearing wetsuit in Shark Bay. I couldn't get in. So trust me, I wouldn't get in like that if it was freezing. It's not. I don't know if it's freezing only in summer, which sounds a bit counterintuitive, but a lot of people complained that they were here and it was freezing, and they seem to have come here in summer. And what's really good about Hamersley is that there is a free camp not very far from here. It's only about 3 kilometers or something. I can't tell you now because I don't have reception. But in the free camp there is a full Telstra reception. There are no toilets, so you have to be self-contained. But then again, if you need to poop, you can just drive these 3 minutes or 5 or whatever. And here in the car park to the gorge, there are toilets. I have to have a look at my what other food I have stashed away here, because it's more than a week since I was shopping last. That was in Tom Price, and it's gonna be at least another week before I go shopping again, so I need to get creative with my food. I still have heaps of potatoes. I have potato gnocchi. What else do I have? Some tomatoes, a little bit of leftover bread if it's not moldy yet. I had some yesterday, it was fine. After a conversation with somebody in the comments, with my friend Rosalie, I kind of got this idea of making sweet spring rolls out of my rice paper. And then I thought, wow, how about strudel? So I had 2 apples. I grated apples. I added some walnuts, a little bit of sugar, cinnamon, and some, what are they called? Raisins. The juice. Wow, that's a lot of cinnamon. Yeah. Yeah, I'm double wrapping them this time because last time it didn't have much of a wrapper. Oh no, I have waited for too long. See, the first one looks okay. One. Oh no, it doesn't fit. Get in. Please let go of each other. I can't wait to try, but I'm gonna burn my mouth, I know it, but my whole van smells divine. Yum. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!